Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we want to look at higher order partial derivatives. So I'll try to keep this video fairly short, but what we want to look at is derivatives of multivariable functions of higher order. So we discussed if I have a function of x and y, and I want to take its derivatives, I will be left with two partial derivatives, one for each variable. And then if I have a three variable function, then I'll have three partial derivatives, and so on and so forth until you get to n dimensions. Now, if I want to take a second derivative, it gets a little bit more complicated because of the different options that we will have and which partial derivatives we actually want to deal with. So today's video, we're going to clear that up for two variable functions, and this can also easily be expanded to three variable functions. It's just a little easier when we deal with two variable functions. So second derivatives, if I have a function f of x, y, I can take its partial derivatives with respect to x or y. Then once I have those partial derivatives, I have four options for second order partial derivatives. I can take the partial derivative with respect to the partial derivative of f with respect to x, or I can take the derivative of the partial derivative with respect to x with respect to y, or I could take the partial derivative of the y derivative with respect to x, or I can take the partial derivative of the y derivative with respect to y. So I have multiple different options of how I can take derivatives. And it turns out that the cross terms are the ones with partial x, partial y in the denominator, those are equal to one another. So it turns out we only really have three options because the other two are equal to each other. So we'll talk about that when you see our example. But anyways, you can expand this to multi-variable functions, 3 variable, 4 variable, 5 variable, but you just need to keep going down the triangle. It makes kind of a triangle shape when you want to go to higher order derivatives and higher dimension functions. So that kind of makes sense. Let's try an example to wrap this up. I would like us to find the second partial derivatives of the following function. F of x, y equals x cubed plus x squared y cubed minus 2y squared. Okay, so what we want to do with this is we want to take our partial derivatives with respect to x and y first. We know how to do this now. We take derivative with respect to whatever variable, holding the other variable constant. So you get partial f partial x is equal to 3x squared plus 2xy cubed. Partial f partial y is then equal to 3x squared y squared minus 4y. Well, now we want to take the partial derivatives for the second derivatives. So we're going to start off with partial squared f partial x squared. So to do that, we go to the partial f partial x equation, we partial differentiate that with respect to x. If I do that, I get 6x plus 2y cubed. Okay, so now I want to differentiate partial f partial x with respect to y. So when I do that, I will get 6xy squared. And likewise, I will do that. I will take the derivative with respect to y of the partial derivative of f with respect to, I will differentiate with respect to x the expression for the partial derivative of f with respect to y. Then we get 6xy squared. So you can kind of see how they're going to be equal to each other no matter what. And then finally, if I take the partial derivative with respect to y of partial f partial y, then I get 6x squared y minus 4. That's how we take partial derivatives of all these functions. It's for higher order. It's not terribly complicated. You just need to keep track of things. And it gets a little bit trickier when you go to higher order third derivatives, fourth derivatives, but it works in a very similar way. The next video, we're going to talk about partial differential equations very briefly. So the wave equation is one that we will cover in the next video. And then after that, I would like to discuss tangent planes and tangent curves. We'll see you then. Bye.